So maybe now as a new prepper, you're starting to look into alternative energy and a way to have backup power during an emergency. Well, today I'm going to show you some very affordable batteries for your solar power systems when you start out. And I'm going to show you how to put one together very, very simply when we come back. So let's check it out. All right, folks, welcome back. Now, if you're starting to build a backup power system, or at least research it, you're going to know that you're going to need some batteries. Batteries store the energy that you'll collect no matter how you collect it, be it solar, wind, just plugging it into the wall. They're a store of energy, and you're going to need a bank or one or two batteries to place that acquired power, okay? The real advantage with a battery bank occurs when you're off-grid and you want to have power on cloudy days, nighttime, and you don't want to run a generator 24/7. So you're going to start with needing some batteries. Now, some of the best batteries out there, as we've seen in the channel over the years, are lithium iron phosphate. They are definitely a longer lasting battery, a better performing battery. Even when the charge dips, they still give a continuous voltage. They last a whole lot longer. You can get 3,000 charges out of some of these. So there are different batteries to consider, and pretty much the larger the battery bank, the more power you can store. So with something like this, it's going to start off small. It still will take care of a whole lot of needs. It's a smaller 50 amp hour battery. Now, in the past, I reviewed the 100 amp hour battery, and actually I am using it in a power box currently, and it's performed flawlessly. I've probably had it about 8 months now, and it's been up and down, charged, discharged, keep topped off on solar. It's performed very, very well. So for a good long life, and something like this that needs zero maintenance, it's not like a lead acid battery where you're constantly checking the water. Lithium iron phosphate makes sense. It's kind of a buy once, cry once thing, but it's really not that expensive. They are coming down in price, and this one isn't all that bad. This one will run you $209 with free shipping. So compared to most lithium iron phosphate batteries that are in the $900 to $1,000 range, that's pretty darn good. Now, it is a smaller battery, okay? And maybe you want to pick up two and have 100 amp hours, or you want to do in parallel 48 volts or 24 volts, or in series. However you want to do it, we're going to show you a very basic system, starting with this battery, and how you can get yourself some backup power within minutes if you have the right gear. And I'll tell you what you need too. Let's talk about the battery. This Power Queen 50 amp hour lithium battery weighs only 11.57 pounds. That's really 1/3 of a 50 amp hour lead acid battery. This can be charged and fully discharged, fully back up to capacity a bunch of times. With a lead acid battery, when you fully discharge it past a certain amount, you really start having problems. It stops lasting as long. This thing can be completely drained and refilled, no problems whatsoever. It does have a built-in 50 amp hour battery management system to protect from overcharging and discharging, over current, short circuit, over temperature. And if you have a 25 amp hour charger, 25 amp charger, you will be able to fully charge this within 2 hours using that BMS. Now, a BMS is not a replacement for a charge controller. Battery management system takes care of the battery inside here. If you're using a solar panel or wind or whatever, you're going to need a charge controller. We'll explain that later, okay? This has a 10-year lifetime, okay? 4,000 plus cycles with a 10-year lifetime. It can be fully charged without risk, keeps the capacity for even when you low discharge it, like we said. It can be expanded up to 4. So you can do 4 parallel or 4 series connection with these for a maximum of 10.24 kilowatt hours. It's perfect for home systems, backup power, off-grid living. If you have a small cabin that needs some power, 2 or 3 of these or 4 of those and you'll be just fine. So that's pretty much it on the battery. Now what I'm going to do is show you how to put together a very basic rudimentary backup power system for your needs as a new prepper. Probably be a whole lot less expensive than buying a power station. I love power stations, don't get me wrong. Love the technology. But if you're on a tight budget, this will probably be a little bit more economical. So let me get some stuff out here and show you what you're going to need, and then we'll put it all together. All right, so this is a massive stuff that you need. It really isn't all that much. And again, it can be scalable. It can go up or down for your needs as far as power goes. First thing you're going to need in the back there is a charge controller, a solar panel. That solar panel is a 50-watt solar panel. I've had it for ages. I haven't really been using it for anything, so I decided to put it to use for this little system, and this is going to be a system that I actually test these batteries out with in the future. Okay, next up, that solar panel is going to need to go somewhere to tell it not to overcharge or undercharge the battery, so that's where the charge controller comes in. This just happens to be one from Boujar. You can get them anywhere. You can go anywhere from $14 up to hundreds of dollars. This is kind of mid-range. I think these are around $40. Basically, you're going to put your solar panels, your battery on here, your solar panels in here, and run it to the battery, and that will keep the solar panel from overcharging it. Next up, wire stripper, some wires, and some connectors. All this stuff can be bought on Amazon very inexpensively. And lastly, if you're not going to be doing 12 volt, you're going to need some kind of inverter, some kind of way to change the DC power to the AC power. And this one is here. Now, this is a very inexpensive. It is not a pure sine wave inverter. It's 1200 watt. I think they're like $54 or something. They're all over Amazon. Make sure if you get a pure sine wave one, you are testing it. But yeah, that's pretty much it. That's basically the whole thing. Now, I am going to have to put some clips on wires and stuff. I already did it for the way at the end here. I already did it for the charge controller for this wire coming off my my solar panel. These are for the ends there. I do have to shrink wrap that. I just have to get my heat gun out and do that. But that's to go into the charge controller. So what I'm going to do is get everything set up for you. And we're going to connect it all together after I put the connectors on it. And we're going to see how this thing works. All right, so I got ends on everything. Everything's all nice and neat. I'm going to show you how this works. The first thing we're going to do is connect the solar panel here. And I'll show you where we're going to put the solar panel outside. We're going to connect the solar panel into the two terminals here for a plus and minus like that. And I'll bring you back once that's done. And we're going to connect this to the battery. Okay, so this is going to go out to the battery, plus and minus, up to the battery here, okay, like that. And then we're going to put that solar panel outside and see what we're getting for a charge. Then we're going to move on and connect the charge controller after. I'm sorry, the inverter after over here. So let me get that done for you and show you what it looks like. We got the garage door open here because we're going to be putting that solar panel outside. This is what the hookup looks like. Hope you can read that. Right now we're getting 0 amps because, of course, it's not outside. Battery's at 13.5 volts. And what we're going to do is come off this battery, okay, into this charge control. And then the solar panel back there runs into the charge control here. This box here will keep this from being overcharged or undercharged or any kind of problems with it. So we're going to take the solar panel and put it outside. I'm going to show you where I put it. And we're going to see, again, I'm not putting this in optimum sunlight. I'm just laying it out there in the sun. We're going to see how we go. All right, again, not in optimal sunlight. It's just sitting out here. I have that running into my work area and over there. So let's connect the inverter and see where we go from there. Right now I got everything running, and that's basically it. There's your 12. If you only need 12 volts, there's your 12 volt charge controller and charge system. Really simple to put together. So let's connect the inverter and try that out. All right, so we're finally all connected. I have this on here. You can turn that on. I don't know if you can see the green LED, but it is running. I have this here. We're getting it's 13.6 volts on the battery. We're getting about half an amp. Again, it's not in perfect order out there. It's just kind of laying on the ground. But it is working. It is taking in sun. It is charging the battery. So that's basically your very, very simple solar backup system. Now, if I want to run something off this, I simply plug it in. Or if I want to run something 12 volt, that would require me connecting different connectors up here. Maybe an Anderson power pole, something similar to, let me show you this cable I made up. Running this here and connecting that to a radio, whatever you're going to use, using that. So any way you want to do it, that's how you do it. It's really simple. Again, this inverter is probably way overpowered for that smaller battery. I mean, if I'm going to draw 1200 watts out of this, I'm probably going to run that battery out quicker than, say, a larger battery. But you can put these all in series or parallel with 4 of them and make yourself a nice little backup system. And you see how simple this is. You're just going to run your solar panel in to your charge controller, your battery into your charge controller, and your inverter out to over here, like that. Very, very simple. Just requires a couple cables, and this is something you can mount on a wall. You can set this up in your home, pretty much anywhere. And the good part about these batteries, the lithium iron phosphates, is they don't require any kind of maintenance. They don't have liquid you have to put in. You have to mess with distilled water. They don't off gas. It's really dangerous when you put a bunch of batteries in a enclosed, lead acid batteries in a enclosed environment because they off gas hydrogen. That is not good. So that's pretty much it. Now, let me give you the stats on the battery really quickly here. They're very, very simple. This is a 12.8 volt battery, okay? Charging voltage is going to be 4.4 plus or minus 0.2. Your rated capacity, of course, 50 amps. Usable capacity is 50 amps. Your energy inside the battery is 1,280 watt hours. Your continuous load on this is 640 watts. Continuous discharge current will be 50 amps, and your peak discharge current for 5 seconds will be 100 amps. Battery management system in there is a 50 amp hour battery management system. And dimensions on this, 7.79 by 6.53 by 6.69 inches, weighs about 11.57 pounds, so almost 12 pounds. Way, way lighter than a lead acid battery. And you see how simple a setup like this is, just running your solar panel out there. That's simple. So that is the Power Queen 12.8 volt 50 amp hour LiFePO4 battery. Definitely something worth looking into if you guys are new to solar and you don't want to spend a ton of money. Like I said, they're $209, $209.99, and I think you will appreciate picking up these at a good price instead of how they used to be $500 and $600. And it's definitely a good way to start. I am thinking of using this for my ham radio stuff out here and getting a different charge controller because I want one of those RF silent charge controllers like I have in my other box. And just keeping this in the background to run whenever I need it. Cables are already cut thanks to this video, so pretty much I'd just be ready to go. Anyway, folks, link for this will be down below. You can check it out on their site. They have a bunch of other batteries too if you're looking for bigger ones. They're 200, 300 amp hour ones, much larger. I have a 100 amp hour one that I reviewed before that works great. It really worked well. Still working well over on my other unit over there. Don't forget to check out our Amazon affiliate store if you're interested in what we use in the channel. Little things like cables and clippers and tools and stuff. You can check that out as well, or you can just click the link and shop as you normally would. We really do appreciate when you do that. Doesn't cost you anything. Our freeze-dried wholesalers link, okay? My link down there will save you 15%. Do click on his link and check it out. You will save 15% on 25-year storage life, freeze-dried food. Really, really good stuff. Individual components, so you make your own meals. You don't have to rely on whatever Mountain House says you eat. You make your own stuff. Below that is our My Patriot supply link. That's preparewithiridium.com. We have some amazing deals going on there, including a 3-month kit with $200 worth of free survival supplies with it, plus $200 off the kit. So check that out as well. That's preparewithiridium.com. And our Thrive Life freeze-dried food store. I thank you guys for sticking around with me today. Don't forget to like the video and share this info with your friends if they want to get into solar. Don't forget to subscribe if you like the content, and we'll talk to you on the next one. Stay safe and stay prepared.